But with it, I think the church is a great place for kids, even if they do not believe. For one, we force religion on kids. It was forced on me. I'll likely force it on my kids. It's fine, okay? Yes, we got to get away from this idea of forcing things on your kids is bad. Well, they should be able to choose. No, they should not. There's a reason why there's an age restriction on voting. There's a reason why there's an age restriction on booze, weed if that's legal in your state, tobacco. There's driving. There's reasons why we put restrictions on people. Sometimes they need to grow into things. You need to teach them things, and then they go learn for themselves, right? But I think that just the church is a great place for kids, especially when there's a youth program. Because for one, if you have like youth Bible study and stuff, you get to learn the Bible like tailored to your life, and you get to have this.
Right.
They get to have discussion. Did y'all do that in Catholic church when you grew up in
Mhm.
Catholic church?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so they talked about it in a way that made sense to us as kids. When you're actually in in the church itself and they're having their sermons, especially because we went to the Spanish,
Iglesia.
yeah, the iglesia. We went, and so like
What was it called?
iglesia.
Iglesia. Yeah. See.
So especially hearing King James in Spanish when we're younger is like, I don't, I don't know what they're
Bro, that shit hard in
saying.
English.
Right, right. So, going to the youth classes made it in a way that I would understand. And things that, like, the little kids' drawings and everything with David, fighting the lions and all that stuff. Like, it makes it those imprint images into your head.
Yeah,
Like, even now, I can remember the picture of the illustrations.
that's
So,
beautiful.
mhm.
But now, like, see, you've actually met like the people who had a great impact on my youth in the church. Well, you did meet one because
Mhm.
but you ride the truck with every day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For real.
I keep it up there for a reason. Speaks to me.
Mhm.
Um, but now, that's important. But another thing that makes church super important for kids, especially like churches that allow the kids to be involved. I remember growing up in church, Youth Sunday used to just be the youth singing. Then it turned into we do the entire program except for the sermon. So we would lead devotion, we would do the prayers, like the different readings and stuff. We would do that. They had this thing called Words of Inspiration, where like different youth member would like do that. They would have the older kids teach the because we would have this thing called like children's message. So it'd be like 5 minutes where there was like a message for the kids, like in the big service.
Right.
They would let like us teach that, and you just develop a lot of skills.
Mhm.
There was just pressure for us to be in the choir. I can't sing, couldn't sing then, but something I had to do.
Mhm.
Now imagine some people call this, oh, it's traumatic, but getting up in front of a lot of people doing something you're not good at, it sucks. But at the same time, it builds a level of confidence of, hey, I did that. It really wasn't that bad.
Mhm.
I do that all the time, and it's not that bad.
Mhm.
But you learn public speaking. Like, the thing about public speaking is a lot of people, you don't get a chance to public speak until you get to public speak.
Yeah.
Like, when do you get a chance to be in front of the public and speak? The church gives you that opportunity. And those are valuable life skills. I mean, you can go through school and do very little public speaking. But when you in the church between like the different plays and programs and stuff like that, you get a chance to public speak. Like yesterday, we saw the little girl. She was pretty young and she was singing, and she
Yeah.
sang well for a child. It's
Mhm.
like, wow, imagine what her confidence is going to be when she gets older,
Right.
because she's singing, and even
Singing. And you could tell that she was very timid. So imagine if she were to like get comfortable with it.
mhm.
Like she just had like a natural chilling voice.
And even just the dynamic of what they had going up there, because it wasn't a large choir,
Mm-mm.
but everybody had a microphone in their face.
Mhm.
So we hear you.
Right.
Now, shout out to the guy on the boards because he had it synced great to where the
Uh-huh.
voices blended.
Yeah.
And I don't like youth Sundays no more. I've never liked them because I used to have to participate in them. Then I got grown and had to hear them. I'm good off them kids. But it wasn't a bad youth Sunday.
No.
The kids sounded good. They good singing, pretty good message. But I think the church is really good for kids because
Yeah.
you learn how to be out. You learn how to be seen, putting yourself out there. And not only to be judged by your peers, because it's one thing to go to school and like do a project in front of your friends and stuff. But now you're doing it in front of older people, younger people, grown people, your grandmama, you know what I'm saying? Like you're doing all of these different things. And one of the reasons why I do a podcast, one of the reasons why I'm comfortable speaking, just period, telling people how I feel, is because I grew up in church, reciting stuff, saying stuff, preparing stuff. Like the age of 5 or 6, I'm up here doing something, reading it, saying that, Easter speech, choir, usher. You just, I don't know, you just learn a sense, you learn stuff about yourself, you learn how to speak. I just think speaking is important. You learn how to read and comprehend,
I mean, it kind of goes back to what I said earlier. It builds a good foundation for them.
Exactly.
Because even though most of the time, especially when they're kids, they end up drifting away, so to speak. And at least they still have that foundation that they grew up on, that they either, although they're not completely submerged in it, they still have that foundation to lean on, or they end up coming back because of that foundation and building a solid home.
It's like the Chingy song. Every time I try to leave, something keeps pulling me back.
Right.
I done tried to leave the church 1,000 times. Something keeps pulling me back, telling me I need you in my life. Every time I try to go, but something keeps telling me that everything gonna be, yeah. I've got a feeling. Anyways.